Today we are diving into the tourism town, exploring la belle connexion between French and tourism. You see, in the world of travel, la langue française is not just elegant, it's essential. Joining me today is someone who knows the first-hand, a passionate tourism student and an insightful mind, and a proud voice from our own campus, Mr. Hopkins Ingenda. Together we'll talk about how French opens doors to the travel industry, the real life of bilingualism, and why every tourism student should consider mastering une langue étrangère. Alors, installez-vous, get comfortable, and let's begin. Well, you can tell us a bit about yourself and what inspired you in the journey of tourism and travel.
Well, merci, Monsieur Ben. I'm very honored to be here today, and we are going to talk about how tourism and French are related in the world of tourism and une langue étrangère. Moi, je m'appelle Hopkins. Je suis honoré d'être ici aujourd'hui. Je suis étudiant ici à la TUC, première année de gestion de tourisme et voyage.
Première année, that's a very great thing. And how did your interest in the French language begin? And maybe you can tell us how it has grown over the time since you started, the beginning you started in, was it in September? Yeah, it was in September. Since you started, you can tell us how your interest in the French language began and how it has grown over time.
Yeah, my interest in French started 4 years ago when I joined high school. That's when I found French for the first time. It was like coup de foudre. It was like life for the first time, and I saw it and I enjoyed it, and I started it and I continued to love it. I was an enthusiast. Très passionnant avec le français et c'était très bien.
Ah, alors tu as dit ça fait 4 ans que tu as appris le français. Alors, why do you think French is an important language like in the global tourism industry?
French is what we perceive. French is a language, not only a language, but it is very important, very essential, especially dans le mode de tourisme. Tourism is international. When we say that tourism is international, it means that tourism is found everywhere. Tourism is everywhere. Therefore, c'est très important pour apprendre une langue étrangère comme français. Cela signifie que vous avez la capacité de communiquer, de partager une langue, partager des cultures avec les autres. You are able to manage and enjoy and share the values with other people from different countries. For example, when you learn a new language, you are not only learning a language, not only for communication, but also you are sharing their way of life, their cultures. That's what I saw very interesting, and I was très interested in this journey of French, and I loved it.
Okay, and that's so great. And in what ways do you think like knowing French enhances the tourism? Does it open doors, or is it like okay, you know, there's this thing when we talk about the language barriers. I don't know, how can you tell me how does French enhance the tourism sector in Kenya and in the worldwide actually?
All right. French is a language, and therefore people are moving all over the world. People are engaging. When I look at French, I understand that when you have this langue étrangère, vous avez la capacité de communiquer très bien avec les autres. Par exemple, les agences, l'agence de voyage, you get to meet these new faces, new people, and therefore learning a new language is you can communicate better with them rather than your own language. Like maybe not everybody speaks the same language. Therefore, it is important for you as the inviter and the visitor. You have to understand each other better.
Okay, so that's nice. And okay, before we forget, now just personally, pourquoi le français? Pourquoi pas l'espagnol? Pourquoi pas l'allemand? Pourquoi juste français?
Oui, français. It depends, by the way. It depends because when I look at like Kenya. Kenya, we are we are getting more visitors from France. When I look at the number of visitors who are coming to Kenya and those who are coming from other countries, you find that most of these are those that are coming to the country because of the facilities and what we are capable of providing. Look at many of the les écoles and les universités. Français is une langue qui est partout. It's the one that it is more visible in Kenya. Therefore, that's why I think that French should be more the best choice than the other languages.
Exactly, absolutely. Actually, French, considering the number, the rating in the world, French is comes the second after English. So, when you have both French and English, I can say you're like a global resident,
Yeah.
because you can move anywhere. Okay, coming back to your line of course, because we are talking French in academics and the skills development. There's when you talk about tourism has got a wide range of this. Got the servicemen, there's the tour guides and a lot. So what specific tourism roles do you think absolutely need that knowledge of French?
Yeah, dans le monde du tourisme, French is everywhere because it is a language, it's a way of communication. Therefore, when I talk about this tour guide, this visitor, how do you engage? How do you communicate? So, if I want to make an itinerary, I want to give and sell out we are selling accommodation, we are selling the matatu seats, we are selling the SGR seats. Therefore, these accommodations, these SGR seats, they need people, and therefore there are people who are working there, and these people need to understand each other. Therefore, it's very important for communication. For example, why do you learn the language? You learn it so that you can be communicable, you can be understood, you can guide people, you can guide the visitors very well, you can show them where to go, what to do, what not to do, give them the briefings. So the communication is very important in this tourism sector.
Exactly. So, and I believe that French gives the students. There's a variety of students taking tourism and travel, and I'm sure there's others who can prefer taking the course without French.
Yeah.
So, how do you think French gives the tourism students who do French a competitive edge?
Oui. Français, moi je pense que français c'est comme un ticket for just it's an extra addition to your skills.
Absolutely.
Let's say you speak English, you speak Swahili, I speak French. Therefore, when I have these languages, I have more opportunities to get. For example, les organisations internationales they are looking for bilingual people. Mm-hmm. When you look for bilingual people who can speak more than one language, multilingual people, these are the people that the organizations are looking for. Because when I hire you, I tell you, this is what I want you to do. I want you to create this itinerary for these people. How are you going to make this itinerary? Because you need to understand this person, the visitor. Because it is the visitor who is coming. Therefore, we are the ones who need to understand them, show them what is supposed to be done, and give them a life-changing experience. That's what they are looking for. They are looking for experience. They are looking for enjoyment. Therefore, the skills, the language skills, the communication skills, très important in the tourism sector.
Exactly, and most of the NGOs they prefer la raison principale c'est pourquoi they prefer the bilingual persons because most of them they work globally. For example, les États-Unis, United Nations, they prefer French a lot because they work a lot in around the world, and French comes second after English. So if you have a second language as French and English as your mother tongue, so you are a better place. So how is when it comes to your coursework, how is French incorporated to your coursework in BTech and tourism? Is it like do you do it as part of your course line?
Yeah, donc ma formation, c'est très important d'avoir une langue étrangère comme français. Ici à la TUC, on fait français comme une course très importante dans le tourisme. Parce que they are trying to give us a level up.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you are doing French as a unit. You need to do it for at least 3 years so that you can have the language in you. You can incorporate it with the tourism terms. You understand the tourism sector, the tourism industry across the continent, not just in Kenya, but you need to have the skills for evaluating and understanding worldwide. That is the motive for you to have something extra to add on your skills, something extra to
build your CV. Yeah, and actually nowadays I've started seeing like jobs and internship opportunities. Yeah. They prefer that the applicants must have a knowledge of French. So what is your advice to this student who thinks that French is too hard or not useful?
Yeah, French is not hard. From what I know is that there's nothing hard. What is hard is people. People are very hard. You don't want to get time to evaluate, understand, know what is supposed to be done. But what I know from my experience, I know that French is very easy. Quand vous avez le temps pour pratiquer, pour faire beaucoup de pratiques, vous êtes prêt.
Okay.
You are very ready to engage, learn, understand the French terms, the French language, the vocabularies. You are good to go. That's what I know. French is very, very easy. Just have the enthusiasm to the Francais, and everything is good.
Okay. And what is your vision for future pour les jeunes africains in tourism who speak French? What's the future of the African youth who speak French?
Yeah.
What's your vision actually, according to you now?
According to me, I think that the future is bright because
very bright. It's luminant.
Yeah, of course. Because when I'm looking at, I've been looking at how French has been diversified along the continent, and I've realized that French has been put as a very important language, especially by the international organizations. Very important. That's why you find that in many universities we have this language. If you go to UON, if you go to KU, you will find French is there being taught. Mostly it is taught as for educational purposes, maybe for teaching or something, but it is incorporated in other courses. For example, you see Alatuk, it is incorporated in tourism, in some of the other hospitality courses, and the reason why they are doing this is to elevate these other courses. And once it has been elevated, which means that they are getting more engagement in terms of understanding and other cultures, other people, understanding other visitors from different regions of the world.
Okay. And when you are choosing your course line, I don't know if was it French a reason for you doing the tourism, or was tourism your reason for doing French?
Oui, merci. C'est une bonne question. I like it because when I did my French in high school, that's when I started to see. And when I was looking for the courses to do, I realized that I love French, I love languages, and I like doing it. That's why I incorporated and I thought of how do I get to engage? How do I get to see? How do I get to understand other people's culture? How do I get to learn more about how the international tourism works? And I realized that through cette gestion de tourism, I can reach out. I can find new people. I can find ways on how to elevate myself through the language. Because when you have a language and you have people, then understanding is natural.
It's very natural. When it comes now to personally, you as Mr. Hopkins, have you ever used French outside class?
Moi, oui, si quand je trouve quelqu'un qui parle français, voilà, je parle.
Ok, ça c'est très superbe.
Oui.
Et ok, une autre question ici, as-tu jamais imaginé vous-même dans un pays francophonie?
Oui, j'imagine beaucoup.
Ok, quel pays spécifiquement?
Ouais, je me vois en France. En France,
Pourquoi en France? Pourquoi pas la Réunion? Pourquoi pas Sénégal? Pourquoi Congo? Pourquoi pas Congo?
Moi, je trouve France très intéressant parce que c'est comme origine. C'est comme le papa des Français. Parce que quand vous avez la France, et puis vous pouvez, you can get to diverse to other regions. Because even here in Africa, you have many, French in approximately 29 countries, I think so. Dans 5 continents, I think they speak French.
Okay.
Therefore, I think that French, if you want it, you can go anywhere. But I think more, according to me, I think I can go to France first.
Okay. Yeah. So in every beautiful situation, there's usually a negative side.
Yeah.
So what is the most difficult part of learning French as a tourism student?
Yeah.
And how do you stay what motivates you despite of these challenges?
Je sais que dans toutes les choses, il n'y a pas quelque chose qui n'ont pas les défis. Les défis sont partout. Even in the French language, we have challenges. Because when you are starting a new language, it's like you are emerging into something new. And this something new, for you to understand it, you need to get into it. For example, you need to understand the way these people are speaking, the way they are expressing themselves. It's like you are copying their way of life. Therefore, I think the difficult part there is you understanding their pronunciation, their way of thinking.
Okay.
That's what will be, I think, somehow difficult. But once you have in yourself the understanding that I can do it, then everything becomes simple because you are doing your hard work on how to engage and how to improve yourself.
Sure.
Therefore, if you understand more terms, more vocabularies, more expressions, and the way they are doing it, then everything is possible.
Ok. So we still to yourself. And si je me rappelle, quand j'étais au lycée, we used to have that pride when you're speaking French. You're a French student, like you're speaking a language that not everybody understands. So I want to know, in your perspective, how do you your friends and your so you are doing French with your classmates. So your classmates also speak French.
Yeah, they're doing French.
But now let's imagine you're in a different setup, like you're at home, and you meet this French speaking person. Now you're speaking French, but not everybody understands.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you're doing that?
Yeah, first of all, you might it might be difficult because other people are looking at you like, what is he saying? It's like you are speaking something that they're not heard. But if you've got the people who can understand you, who you can engage better with. If you find someone who does not understand French, obviously I will not speak the language.
Okay.
But when I get to a platform whereby everybody is speaking French and there's those who have maybe they know some few terms, you can fix a few terms if you have some difficulties, but you still can engage. For those who are maybe beginners, you can find those who are trying to understand the French better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's just so great. And me remember, if I can say, when I was still learning French as a beginner, I had this teacher who used to tell us "Voilà, Angola," and you know, because he was going to French after that,
Yeah.
that's how voila became my favorite
Yeah.
phrase in French, or like a word in
Yeah,
French. Like, so I want now in your context, like, do you have like a favorite word or a phrase in French?
Oui.
And which one is that? I would like to. I'll be very pleased to know that.
There are so many favorite words in French,
But I want that the best one. There's that one, like, you know, even me, if I sit down, like, I'm just amused of something, I just like voila. Just voila. So I just want now in your
this term that I like is bijou.
Bijou.
Bijou in French means what? Jewelry, sindio? So in French you have some words like bijou. So this word bijou always motivates me. When you see like jewelry, I see it shining. And the bijou in Kiswahili, mtu anasema bijou, kukua juu. And B English, then Jew.
Be up, like
so be up. So it always motivates me. You need to be up.
That's a very great
one.
That's a very great one. I didn't expect that one.
Yeah.
So now in this strip saying that the phrases. Imagine now you are guiding a French tourist, and you are now going through the Masai Mara.
Yeah.
So I want you to. What's the first phrase or sentence that you'll say to them in French? You've just met them, and now they've told you that now, Mr. Hopkins, you'll be the guide of these tourists. So what is the first phrase or sentence that you tell them in French?
Yeah, that's very, very important, by the way. No, you are meeting this person for the first time. And I want to create trust, me and you. I want to create trust between me and you so that you can allow me to take you through. Because you are new, and I am the origin, and I want to tell you. So the first thing is building trust. For example, I'm meeting you for the first time. What I'll do is that I'll greet them. So I've been introduced. These are your people. These are tourists. I want you to take them through this and this. I will greet them. I will tell them who I am. That's the first thing I'll do. I'll tell them who I am. What are my skills? What am I supposed to do there? So I will tell them. Maybe I'll be taking you through this and that. And if you have any question, please be open. Just tell me, because I will have to brief them and debrief them on what to do and what not to do. For example, in a zoo, obviously I will tell them not to feed the animals. I tell them to keep track, stay on the designated area, and that's how you build trust.
Sure.
People, So,
okay, so that one is, you've taken us very deep into your expertise in tourism. But now my question was, like, I want that the first sentence. You've just met these tourists, and you want to know them, kind of, and or maybe the trust that you have said you want to build it. So I want that very first sentence or phrase that you use to them, the first tourist you've just met.
The first tourist.
Yeah.
So you mean I know them, or?
Okay, you don't. Okay, I don't know if no, you don't know them, because this is a context. Like you have been employed. You're now a tour guide, and you've met these tourists, and now they've just told your managers just told you, Mr. Hopkins, these are the tourists that have visited us, and you'll be their tourist guide of the day or of the week. So what is the first phrase? Because you have to know them before that. You have to build that trust that you're saying. How will you introduce yourself to them? If I can be more specific.
Oh, how I introduce myself?
Yeah, in French now.
Okay.
To the tourists.
That's
Now it's this is a different context. You are introducing when we're starting. You are introducing yourself to the viewers. But now I want you to know how you can introduce yourself to the tourists now. Yeah.
What I do is that I will start by, if they are French, maybe. Si ils ont français ou française, tout d'abord je vais les saluer. Bonjour, je m'appelle Hopkins. Aujourd'hui, je suis honoré de vous faire une promenade dans cette c'est un parc ou un zoo. So il faut saluer, il faut dire votre nom. Je m'appelle Hopkins. Je suis votre guide touristique aujourd'hui. Si vous avez des questions, si vous avez si vous avez quelque chose de demander, please do so before we commence our journey.
That's so great. So what now in the finishing part now, we're going to wind up. And what advice are you giving to the students who are planning to come into tourism and industry? The ones who have just chose, we are now in that period where they're checking their results in the portal, like which campus did I choose, which course did I take. So what advice are you giving to those students who are planning to come to the campus to do tourism and travel?
Yeah. What I can tell that is that there is always something better to do, because I would advise them, if you want to come to the to tourism and travels, have the passion. If it's your passion to come to tourism sector, if you love it, then you should take the mantle. Understand yourself, understand the way you think, the way you monetize yourself. If you are good at talking to people, you are good at your conversations, you can easily find yourself in the sector of tourism, because you know how to engage with people, you know how to read people, how they are doing. You can show someone, do this, do that. That's how we understand people in the tourism sector.
Okay, and finally now, how would you like to see the future of French in Kenya, and how tourism, in the Kenyan tourism,
Yeah.
how will you like to see it in future?
In the future, I want it I would like it to grow very, very fast, because tourism is the fastest growing industry in the world. And in Kenya, what I would advise is that we get to have better infrastructure, because when we are looking at tourism cannot exist when people can't reach. For example, you can have attraction, but this attraction, you cannot reach it without what? Infrastructure. Infrastructure is in terms of travel. So without travel, there's no tourism.
Sure.
So we need to expand our infrastructure so that we can able to incorporate and get to the specific areas that we need. And the tourism, as it grows, let them grow. For example, right now, the Gong forest, I can see that they are trying to eradicate, to cut down the trees. But when they are cutting these trees, it means that you are killing tourism. You are killing the world of tourism. Tourism exists where there is attraction, where there is the way to reach there is infrastructure. And when you are cutting down trees, like in Gong forest, you are killing tourism. Like you see that now people are now bringing these conversations in social media, whereby someone is saying, like, I'm going to build a house in Nairobi National Park.
Sure.
What is that? It's
That's
like you are killing tourism. It's like you are telling us, the students of tourism in TUC, vous êtes rien. You are doing nothing. So
Sure.
as we grow, which means those resources, we will need them. After maybe the university, I will need somewhere to go and do my attachment. Like I need to go to Nairobi National Park, but someone has built lodges, someone has built buildings there. So how do I reach? So what I will advise that the departments and the sectors concerned with the tourism, they should look out for such things, because we as students, we need to get something to do after our studies. So if you eradicate our place, it's like you are killing our way of life, our way of studies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Merci beaucoup à notre invité à Hopkins Ingenda. Merci beaucoup pour ces réflexions à sa passion. Aussi, c'était un plaisir de t'avoir sur ce plateau de TFC TV. Tous ceux qui nous regardent, n'oubliez pas de la langue française n'est pas juste une matière, c'est une opportunité. Continuez à apprendre, à explorer le monde et surtout aussi rêver. Merci et très bientôt sur